I had extreme fatigue, chronic fatigue, brain fog, shortness of breath, tingling in the extremities. I was going to work, living on steroids. So I would get through my day and I would come home and I would just crash. Like, my kids were pretty much on their own. I went to doctors and I did have POTS-like symptoms and like dysautonomia symptoms. And all I ever got was long COVID and like, sorry, we really don't know what to do for you. I was scared I wasn't going to make it through the night. Hi, I'm a mom of 2 and I am a teacher. I'm a reading specialist. I also coach basketball and softball, younger ages.
Hot diggity damn, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
So fine. Let's rewind the clock to, let's say, a couple months ago. Let's say 6 months ago. Where were you? What were some of your biggest health struggles?
I was struggling with long COVID. I had extreme fatigue, chronic fatigue, brain fog, shortness of breath, tingling in the extremities, among a whole bunch of other symptoms. I was going to work, living on steroids. So I would get through my day and I would come home and I would just crash. Like, my kids were pretty much on their own. And I mean, I have help sometimes, but I mean, I was in bed.
I was going to ask, because I remember in the beginning, you had quite a bit of vertigo, dizziness, right?
Yes.
And I have a question. A lot of people don't realize when they're dealing with long haul. Number one, they don't realize they're dealing with long haul. Did you know, in fact, that you were dealing with long haul?
I did, because since COVID came about, I've dealt with this each time I am infected with COVID.
And so it's not just once, it was multiple times.
Yeah, that's my third time.
Did the symptoms get worse, or were there new symptoms, or like, was there a progression?
Yes. I mean, I always got different symptoms and there's no rhyme or reason to it. I was also like, food sensitivities was a huge one this time, histamine responses.
Yep.
And this time I couldn't really get better from it. Like, I was really struggling and I was depressed and just frustrated.
Yeah. Question for you. A lot of people, when you're describing these symptoms with like brain fog, some people had the vertigo and the fatigue, and some people have it with like fast and slow heart rate as well, and some of these food reactions. A lot of people don't realize that having these long haul type symptoms or mystery symptoms coincide with what we call POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. Were you ever diagnosed with POTS, or did you ever go down that rabbit hole to try to get a diagnosis around that?
No. I went to doctors and I did have POTS-like symptoms and like dysautonomia symptoms, and all I ever got was long COVID and like, sorry, we really don't know what to do for you.
What kind of, like, when we go through the long list of endless parade of specialists that you saw, what kind of doctors did you see? Did you see a cardiologist? Did you see infectious disease, hormone? What kind of doctors did you see?
I've been to a cardiologist. I've been into immunology. I was supposed to go into endocrinology, but I canceled that appointment. Because I found you. I went to the ER multiple times and just like maybe 3 different general practitioners.
Yeah. So question for you, like many people, whether it's long haul or POTS, going to the cardiologist or the immunologist or the endocrinologist or the ER didn't solve the problems. Mm-hmm. And why do you think they weren't able to solve the problems?
Well, they didn't really know what to do. It's so new, and they looked at my blood work and it looked amazing. They said, you look great. You look so healthy. I wish I could be like you. They're the kind of comments I would get. And I felt like crap. I mean, I was going to the ER because I was scared I wasn't going to make it through the night some nights.
And what are the ages of your children?
They're 12 and 9.
And were you working full time or able to still work full time at the time, like 6 months ago when this was happening?
I was working, but I was barely making it through the day.
I know. I mean, you were like pushing it through and you felt like if you pushed through one day, you were paying for it for days later. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's fast forward, which was, where this is a couple of months out from having worked with us, and working with us. Where are each of those symptoms at now? So we mentioned all the blood pressure changes, the vertigo or heart rate, fainting, chronic fatigue. You mentioned it. You said food reactions. There's so many different ones. Let's go through them and tell me where you are now with them.
Okay.
Number 1, POTS-like symptoms with dizziness, vertigo, positional changes.
That's pretty much gone.
Okay. Another symptom that you had was you said you were starting to get depressed.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
having severe brain fog.
Yeah.
Anxiety. Where are those symptoms at?
Much better. I wouldn't say they're 100% yet, but they're much better. With your mindset piece, like intertwined, that really helped me a lot. And I still use a lot of those strategies.
You mentioned a couple other symptoms. You said a lot of reactions to food. You mentioned histamine, mast cell type symptoms. Can you describe, because a lot of people in the audience don't know what those terms mean, but pretty much everyone dealing with POTS or long haul do know what you mean, but I would like you to elaborate on that. What do you mean when you say you had a lot of food reactions, histamine, or mast cell type symptoms?
I honestly really didn't know I was reacting to foods either until I entered this program. I get the tingly face, and sometimes my throat does feel tight. I get excess mucus. I think my shortness of breath is also from food. And I'm still kind of learning what I can and can't have. Some of them subsided, and some I still have a little bit of like, oh, what did I eat that I just reacted to?
You mean occasionally, sometimes, like the vast majority of symptoms are gone, but occasionally, sometimes you ate something, you're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
That happens pretty rarely in comparison.
Yes, in comparison, yeah. I had not had it in weeks, and then this week was the first time I had one. I had like the brain fog a little bit, and then the tingly face, and I'm like, oh no, what did I eat?
Well, but okay, let's talk about that. So what were some of the linchpins? So let's talk through the food piece, right? So when it comes to food reactions, you didn't know these symptoms were related to food, like the numbness in the face, for example.
No.
Now you know it's related to food, and the vast majority of symptoms have improved just over the matter of the last couple of months.
Yes.
What was it that you learned? What was the secret? What was the linchpin that you felt like you learned about food and food-related reactions that caused an end to most of these symptoms?
The way you eat, eating my fat, fiber, and protein, cutting foods out that I'm sensitive to that I didn't know I was sensitive to, that there are IgG response, allergies. One time I went to the ER and she said, why did you wait so long to come here? And I said, well, I wasn't really having symptoms until now. And it was like 4 hours after I had even ate anything, but I felt kind of stupid. But then after I learned that, I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense.
You didn't even realize you were having a more and more of an allergic reaction to food. So from your standpoint, you didn't even know that's what it was.
No, because I had so many different symptoms.
Yeah, confusing. So number one, you mentioned that you learned like how to eat. So the balance of the food that you eat really impacts on blood sugar. And a lot of people out there don't know that having long haul or POTS is linked to really up and down swings in blood sugar. So learning how to stabilize your blood sugar, boom. How long do you think learning how to balance your plate and your blood sugar, how quickly were you able to see changes?
Oh, in the first few weeks. I think
blood sugar within the first couple weeks has increased. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't used to eat like breakfast and stuff. I was one that would just kind of drink a lot of coffee, too much coffee, and go on to work. And then maybe I might skip lunch even, and I would get the headaches and stuff, and all made sense.
Let's talk the second thing, which is you said learning to figure out what foods were actually triggering, like IgG, you mentioned food allergies or food sensitivities. So a lot of people, when they come in and they start realizing, well, even before they come in, they start realizing it could be food related and reacting to food. A lot of people go on these big elimination diets, eliminating like 80-90% of the food on the planet, and they don't get better. So my question is, when you said you had to eliminate some things, I want to say, what is so different about what you did versus what other people are doing? Because one of the biggest hallmarks of what we do differently with food is food mapping, which is really looking at your blood work and your data, which are not amazing and awesome. Your blood work, your data showed us exactly which foods were triggering the long haul and the POTS-like symptoms. What did you learn in the food mapping process that were the answers for your food reactions?
Big one for me was whey protein. And in my diet, I ate yogurt all the time, and I ate yogurt with extra whey in it. So there's that. I ate protein powder with whey in it. Soft cheeses, like cream cheese was one of my favorites. Cottage cheese, I was, eating that and making certain things with that to be healthier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't healthier for me.
Yeah. Because cottage cheese has a lot of whey protein.
Mm-hmm.
So whey was one of the things that you realized you were reacting to. Were there any others? Did you have to eliminate 100 foods?
No. I mean, whey was the main one. And then there was allspice and clove, but I don't really even eat those. So
3 things.
Mm-hmm.
And not hundreds. How quickly eliminating allspice, what was the other one? Coriander and whey. How quickly after eliminating those did you notice a difference?
In my digestion, I have noticed a difference. It's only been like a month, but my stomach it's definitely been healing. I can feel it because it hurt when I started the program. Like, I think I had an ulcer.
Yes.
So it's gotten much.
And now? So you're saying the gut pain's gone?
Yes, most of the time.
Okay.
Might have it a little bit some random nights.
How do you think your level of self-trust has changed as you've gone through the last couple of months of working with us?
Well, I've learned so much to back myself up now. So I've learned how to read blood work, and I've learned that what foods I can and can't have. I feel like I can be a much better advocate for myself, because before the doctors, they were like, oh, you look great. And then, I was like, I don't feel great though. And so now I feel like I have the knowledge to be able to go to doctors and say, well, it's not okay because this is where I want my numbers.
What has it meant for your family or for your relationships? What do you think it's meant for the people that are close to you getting better?
A lot. Like it means the world to them because they were worried about me. My mom, my aunt, they really step up because I did lose my husband. I am doing this on my own. And, having 2 little kids and their mom being sick, like even them, they would look at me and say, Mommy, you can't be sick again. But they really stepped it up, but it was so sad watching them too. You could tell they hurt because their mom's sick and they were worried. But even my close friends, like I have one, she's like my cheerleader. She's like, yes, this is what you need. This is like amazing.
So what's something, thinking back right now, I know it's hard to think back even like 3-4 months ago. What's something that you can do now effortlessly that a couple months ago you would have thought was impossible?
Clean my house.
Really?
Seriously, I couldn't. I would do dishes and I would be out of breath and wiped right out. Like going to work and lasting like the whole day without needing a break. Now I'm coaching basketball. 2 different teams of basketball, 5th and 6th grade and 7th and 8th. And I'm able to do that. I can run down the court with them. I haven't really started working out, but that's coming.
I love that. What is, another thing would be like, what do you think as far as, you mentioned in the past that mindset work, you said changes in the way that you think was one of the major impact, one of the major results that you've had. Can you share something that you learned that you're calling mindset? What do you think has shifted there? And what's a major lesson there in your life with that?
I was feeling very frustrated and kind of defeated and like, I'm never going to get better. Nobody's going to be able to help me. Like, this is going to be my life. The rest, like being able to do a limited amount of things. And now with the mind shift, now I have hope. I am able to have a quality of life. I am able to do the things that I used to love to do. And now even when I go back to that like negative thinking a little bit, I am able to flip it around. Your aunt's thing, it's me often like, oh, I think I have the worst possible thing ever. And then I'm like, no, wait, this is just a little reaction.
Well, I mean, think about where you are today. I mean, like things are like so much better than they were just like literally 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I think about what you said. You said before you were having this numbness tingling in your face or your lips, not even knowing that it was even associated with food or digestion or anything, right? And now it's like, you're like, 99% of the time I don't have it. And now when I do, I'm sitting here troubleshooting like, well, what thing was it that caused it?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That's a whole different level of conversation and wisdom and skills and tools that you didn't have just 2 months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, this past weekend, I was like, I know it's because my parents were like, you don't feel good? I was like, it's a food reaction. I know it is.
I know it is. I love that. Well, okay. And then I would say, hey, so Veronica, I mean, there are probably 100,000 Veronicas out there, right? Who are watching this video. And if they're watching this and you're talking to a Veronica out there, what would you say to her? Imagine that she was where you were 6 months ago. What would you say to her coming from where you're at now?
I would say don't give up, and you need to use the data. You need to use data to help yourself. This is a solvable problem. Don't give up. And there are people like Dr. Maggie that can help you.
Hey, I was going to ask a bonus question for people. What is it like working with me and our team? What's a couple things you can say about what it's like to work with us?
You can tell you guys really care about each and every one of us and that you want each and every one of us to feel our best. And you're so knowledgeable. If we have a random question, you could, like off the top of our heads, you can answer it off the top of your head. Yeah. And you actually get the feeling that there is somebody that wants to help you.
I love that. One other bonus question is, when you look at the big outcomes you've had, basically, I mean, would you say what percentage of your symptoms are better or gone?
I would say 90%.
90% of symptoms gone within the matter of just the last 2 to 3 months.
Yes. And I had about 20 symptoms.
20 symptoms.
I bet.
Would you say compared to the other people that you see, because there's a lot of people out there who says, I'm too sick to get better. Mm-hmm. Right? And they look at your outcomes and they're like, wow, those are really huge because 90% of 20 symptoms are gone. And my question for you is, based on what you saw with the other people in the program and what they were dealing with, are your outcomes super spectacular or rare compared to what their outcomes are?
No. I mean, there's so many people that have like symptoms of mine or worse, and they also have success stories.
I love that. I love that because sometimes people think I'm too sick to get better, or some people think I'm not sick enough to get better.
Yeah. I mean,
were you in that category? Did you think you weren't sick enough to get help, or you weren't sick enough to really need a lot of help to get better?
I was in the category of I am going to get better. And I was like on a search for it. So I did have the mindset, like, I am getting better. I can't live like this. And then I found you. I mean, there was times I thought maybe I wasn't going to find anybody, but I was going to keep looking.
Well, question. How did you find me and our team?
Oh, it's kind of funny. On Facebook, I'm on a COVID long haul group. There's 200,000 people in that group.
Yeah.
And whenever I would have a symptom, I would go there And I would type in the search bar, and one day in the comment thread, somebody said, Maggie Woo helped me. And so I went to your page, and then I think I called you like the next day.
Question. Like you said, you were searching and searching for somebody who knew what they were doing, who cared, who listened, who got the results. What do you think helped you make the decision? When you first came in contact, looking at my content on YouTube, for example, or speaking with our team, how did you know it was going to be the right thing for you to do or the most effective thing? How did you know? What made it different?
You were so confident in saying, like, I can fix this. I can help you. And that made me feel like really good. Like, okay, this person, she knows what she's doing.
I love that.
And just watching success stories too. I did watch a few of those too.
Great. So Veronica, thank you for sharing your time. I know you're a busy mom and you have 2 teams you're coaching and you're teaching. So thank you for sharing your experience with everybody. Boy, that was an amazing interview. And I'm touched and I'm proud. These are the kind of kick-ass people we work with. And I love if you or anyone you know is struggling with POTS, dysautonomia, long haul, or unexplained chronic health symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, irritability, irritable bowel syndrome, which you know now, I think IBS is BS. If you're struggling with any chronic health related symptoms, I have a POTS and dysautonomia and long haul training series available. If you want the training series, look at the copy above or below this video and we will get the POTS training series to you. It's a free multi-part training that shows you what are some of the underlying causes of POTS, dysautonomia and long haul. Click the link below and watch my free training. Learn this one simple concept and be ready to get life back on track. Click the link below.